People will spend all the time in the world trying to negotiate and find the right car, and then they don't know anything about their credit. It's ridiculous. Some of the big mistakes that I've seen, one of the biggest ones is not finding out what your own bank or credit union will do as far as the financing is concerned. Find out if they will finance you and what the rates, terms, and programs are that are available. Many people skip this step. They go straight to the dealership, and we all know that's probably, you're not going to get your best deal that way. The next big mistake that I would see happen is people are not separating the transactions. There should be the price of the car, the trade-in value, and what the finance options are. You should always break this up into 3 separate parts. That way you're going to be able to focus on each one individually, not getting distracted on, only looking at payment or only looking at trade-in allowance. Separate all 3 parts of the transaction. The next big one is not knowing what your trade-in is worth. There are a vast amount of sources out there, your Cars.com, your Kelley Blue Book, your Auto Trader, that will give you trade-in values on your car. You should also go physically to like your CarMax, your AutoNation, any local company that will give you a cash offer on your trade-in. That's going to give you more information, and you're going to be better prepared when you actually do go car shopping. The best was my customers that were Highline customers. Your people that own Porsches or Mercedes or cars like that. And they thought because they owned the car that it was worth more money. And I always had to break it down to them saying, look, your car has 4 wheels and a seat and it's mass produced. There's nothing special about your car. So it was always a push and pull with those people that we always had to break things down for them, and oftentimes that was the bigger part of the negotiation for them rather than actually doing a little bit of research on their own. Drop a comment down at the bottom and let me know if you've ever gone to like a CarMax or AutoNation or any of these cash for car places that will give you a cash offer. Let me know if you've ever done that. I'd like to get your feedback on what your experiences were and if you thought that they gave you a fair offer on your car. Here's one that a lot of people don't think about. If you go and make a lowball offer on a car, in my mind, when somebody did that to me, when they made me a ridiculous offer, they offered me half of what the car is worth, I was less likely to take them seriously from that point on. You're not doing yourself any favors by not doing any research on the car that you're buying and making a lowball offer. You should know approximately what the car costs before moving into any kind of negotiation on anything. Do not make a lowball offer on the car because you're not going to be heard after that point. Your word is not going to mean as much as it would if you came in and made a reasonable offer. Now, those of you out there that have a spouse or significant other, this is a question for you. When you first met that person, did you ask them to get married right away? That day, the first question that you asked them, will you marry me? Did you ask them to, hey, let's go back to my place? No. You built a rapport with them. You had shared experiences. You spent time with them. You did things. When I was a salesperson, I was always taught to find out where the customer went to school, what their hobbies were, if they had any kids. They're not trying to take advantage of you. They're just trying to build a little bit of rapport with you. And you should be doing the same thing with the people at the dealership. Get to know a little bit about them. And when you do make the offer on the car, they're going to be that much more likely to listen to you rather than you just coming in and making an offer and hoping it gets accepted. If you have a relationship with these people, even if it's very small, they're more likely to help you get what you want if they have some kind of a relationship with you. And this kind of dovetails into that a little bit. People don't realize that your location is your leverage. If you do business with a dealership in your town, they're more likely to have some flexibility with you if they know that you could possibly be buying more than one car from them, or if you're going to be using their service department, or if you have a friend or family member that might be shopping with them. I was more apt to give people a better deal to somebody that was local than somebody that was calling me from a couple of states away that was just looking for the vehicle that I had in inventory. Know that if you have a local dealer, that's the first place that you should start, because that's probably going to give you the most flexibility on pricing and getting a better deal. Okay, so what is the number one mistake that I've seen people make in all of my years of doing this? And that is not knowing their credit. I can't tell you how many times we would spend days, weeks, possibly months with a customer, help get them the car that they want, only to run their credit at the end and find out that they don't qualify to buy anything. It's important. Go online, go to Experian, go to TransUnion, go to Equifax, get your credit pulled. They'll let you look at it once a year and it doesn't cost you anything. If you have Credit Karma or one of these apps on your phone, a lot of credit card companies do this, and they'll give you a free credit score. It's your credit score, but it isn't. It's a different version typically than what the car dealership or a mortgage company is going to look at. We look at Auto FICO. They look at what they call Vantage scoring. What Vantage scoring is it looks at a smaller snapshot of your credit, and especially with people that have never financed cars before, they will actually score higher possibly than somebody that has a longer credit history on FICO. So knowledge is power. Make sure that you know what you qualify before you step foot on the lot. Now that you know some of the mistakes that you can make, you really need to watch this next video. This next video is about first-time buyers and some of the really disastrous things that can happen to you if you're not careful. So until next time, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.